So you have to let go in making love. Now, how do I let go in making love? We come back to the body. It is the body that makes love. Although most people make love with their mind and emotions. And I have to make love with my body without my mind or emotions being in the event. How do I do that? The making of love with the body is a very pleasant sensation, a very pleasing sensation. Sensation, that is like drinking a glass of water when you're thirsty, is a pleasant sensation, isn't it? Right? Or when you're not thirsty and you don't drink the water because you can't feel it. Right. So when you got control there, you're not really thirsty. You are doing something else. The point is that two bodies making love should be a pleasure, and not anything to think about, not anything to imagine, fantasize about, but the sheer action of man and woman making love with their bodies is a pleasure. But it's not a sexually exciting thing at all, because that's what we've been used to. It's not sexually exciting. It can be passionate in the sense that it's still and beautiful and enjoyable, and each one is absolutely present as the physical bodies, but there's no control going on. So the thinking process, when that is some form of control going on by going elsewhere, being absent from the event. And that has to be overcome. How? Because it should be and is a beautiful thing to make love with a man for a woman, as long as she is not in her emotions or the past. Now, the body is a battery, and woman is a particularly sensitive battery. And she has all the lovers that she's ever had, including particularly the first one. And the disappointments and all the rest of it, the emotions have gone into her body. And they have often desensitized her body to the sensation, the pleasant sensation of making love. So the body of woman, through having many lovers, not always, there are exceptions, tends to desensitize the body. I mean, many lovers, meaning many lovers of disappointments, sex desensitizes the body, because you've got to have fantasies, you've got to have thoughts, processes and those things, and they desensitize the vagina. Because the vagina is the key to woman. And if that gets desensitized by disappointment, unhappiness, sexual stimulation without love, because sexual stimulation with love, no problem, no problem at all. It's when it's to get you excited, to have a goal, to have an object to it. That's where it starts to desensitize, because then woman gets dependent on sexual stimulation. And the vagina is not made for sexual stimulation. The vagina is made for love. And so when you have a man who truly loves you, what he's doing is taking some of the desensitivity, the lack of a sensitivity in the vagina, his presence of his loving penis, gradually is taking the lack of feeling out of there, using the word feeling, because feeling is only in the body, it's not in the emotions. All bodily feelings are legitimate. You know, I say you should have no feelings, right? I just got to get this straight. The world and women and men live off their feelings, especially women, which are their emotional feelings, which are the emotions of the self. Whereas the legitimate feelings are the feelings of the body, such as the body is hungry, so I have a feeling that I'm hungry, right? Without emotionalizing it and saying I'm hungry, but the body has a feeling of hunger, a desire for food. That's a legitimate feeling. The body has a feeling of needing to go to the toilet. That is a legitimate feeling. The body has other feelings, like if I injure my knee, that is painful, and that is a legitimate feeling of pain. It's not emotional. Making love is a legitimate feeling or sensation of pleasure. But if the vagina has been desensitized, and many, many vaginas have been desensitized due to sexual stimulation without love, then the woman tends to drift off, tends to not be present. But the man could be loving her, and she would know whether she's with a man who truly loves her. And if she knows what I'm talking about, then she will surrender as much as possible and be now in her body while he lovingly caresses her and makes love with her. That's the way to resensitize the vagina. But of course I might be just making it all up, mightn't I?
You're not.
Oh, thank you. Oh, good, okay. Oh, I'd like to hear that, yeah. No, well, that's the truth. So it's getting back to the simple pleasure of making love. But then it takes two to make love. The man has got to be loving. He's just got to have love in his body, because his penis can be an instrument of sex and unlove. And it's that is desensitized to a large degree the vagina, apart from the sexual stimulation to get the woman excited. But if he is a loving man and she knows it, even though she has the problem that you talked about, going off thinking about this or that, or I think your man said it, if she knows that the man is loving, she must endeavour more and more to give up, coming back to your control, to just give up and enjoy the simple. I didn't say it was easy, I said it was simple. And it's not, this is a complicated society where we got all the sex shops, we've got all these dreadful movies and things that can't help having man or woman making love in their acting ways and things, all stimulation and nothing to do with love really. So we've got to get back to the simplicity of making love with the body and not with the mind or emotions.